Okay, thank you, Terry. Good morning. I'd like to welcome everyone to the first LEAG virtual meeting. This is something new. It's part of our leadership initiative to try to increase the timeliness and responsiveness of LEAG to the community it serves. So I'd like to thank everyone for being here today for this this great experiment. So since this is a LEAG meeting, I thought I would provide a brief LEAG update. One of the things that happened because of the government shutdown was that the 2018 findings were delayed. So those have now been posted on the LEAG website and remain relevant today. Let's see here. The Survive the Night LEAG Survey Meeting Report has been posted on the LEAG website, and I'd like to especially thank the early career professionals who helped synthesize the report and put it into its final shape. And we also, we're repeating this frequently and often. We'd really like to thank the Planetary Science Division for helping with resolve to the satisfaction of all concerned the issues relating to the lunar sample studies as they pertain to the Emerging Worlds and the Solar System Workings Program. That really is a model for how AG community and headquarters interaction is supposed to work, and we're deeply appreciative to PSD. A draft meeting report from the Lunar ISRU In Situ Resource Utilization 2019 report meeting, is in progress and about to be released. So that was a very successful meeting and really did demonstrate the value of lunar resources towards a sustainable exploration program to multiple destinations throughout the solar system. We strongly support at LEAG Science from the Moon, and so as we've been hosting, happy to host and pleased to host Astro 2020 white papers regarding science on and around the moon for astrophysics and heliophysics on the LEAG website. So if you haven't looked at those, I would encourage you to do so. This is new. We've been working with our good friends over in the CAPTEM to organize a special action team on aspects of Artemis sampling and curation. The chair of the Lunar Sample Subcommittee for CAPTEM, Dr. Juliana Gross, has been given the reins there, and she's moving out smartly. And New Views of the Moon 2 chapters are being reviewed. So there's a lot of exciting things going on. Okay, so we also recently had a wildly successful meeting, the annual meeting of LEAG that occurred October 28th, 29th, and 30th in Washington, D.C. It was broken up into 3 days. Day one was preparing for the next planetary decadal survey, which featured in-depth breakout groups to get a sense of what the community priorities were, which was a very successful and informative exercise. I think everyone had a lot of fun doing it. And then days 2 and 3 was planning for future human lunar exploration. So that was induced upon us by the onset of Project Artemis, get to the moon by 2024 by any means necessary, and phase 2 of Artemis, which is to sustain a permanent presence on the lunar surface by 2028, according to the Space Council. We had an interesting keynote address by the Deputy Administrator of NASA, Jim Morhart. Excellent participation from HUMD, SMD, STMD, and other policymaking organizations like Congress. So it was a very, very productive meeting with a wide range of attendance across the policymaking and programmatic continuum. And the findings have been released and are up on the LEAG website. So it's a pretty solid set of findings.
因为我打开了一个网上会议。
I'm sorry, someone needs to unmute their microphone, please.
不影响，因为这是比较高级的会议，跟我这种低层人物没有。
All right. So today's virtual meeting, of course, this is an experiment, like I said, so this is the first one we've run. I'd like to say a thank you to our close friends at the Solar System Exploration Research Virtual Institute, who are organizing this as one of their workshops without walls. We've made an incredible amount of progress over the past several years, more than I think the community really realizes, and the broad scope and the reach of NASA's active lunar portfolio is low. So the goal of this meeting is to provide a broad overview to the community of NASA's current funded active selections in missions, instruments, and ongoing concept studies that have resulted from programmatic selection decisions arising out of NASA headquarters. So all the PIs of various instruments and concept studies that are active in the planetary mission concept studies line were contacted, and those who could present today are presenting. So this should be very interesting meeting, and I'm really looking forward to it. So my role here today is to provide a broad overview of what the portfolio looks like. So I'd say there's a critical meeting we had was at the January 2018 at Ames, the Lunar Science for Landed Missions workshop, which everyone agreed and it was involved thought was wildly successful. And one of the outcomes of that meeting was reaffirming what we all already knew, that the moon has a lot of interesting places that we'd like to explore with broad implications for the entire solar system. And so this was sort of a high-graded set of areas that are the first, those considered by the community to be high exploration priorities. And now we have a program in the Lunar Discovery and Exploration Program that's designed to help us do exactly that. And we had a late-minute schedule change, and that is that Dr. Ben Bussey, the Senior Exploration Scientist at NASA headquarters, will follow me to provide an update on the Lunar Discovery and Exploration Program. So we all look forward to hearing what Ben has to say. Okay, so this is a list. So NASA has several different instrument programs and payload, and all intended to deliver payloads to the Commercial Lunar Payload Services Program. So the first is the Development of Advanced Lunar Instrumentation Program. So these are all the selections made in fiscal 2018, and the instruments in blue will all be giving talks today. Later on in the schedule. So I'm looking forward to hearing about all these exciting new instruments. And these are the fiscal 19 selections for the DALI program. Unfortunately, none of them could make it today, but again, a very exciting list of instruments and payloads. Okay, then in order to try to really expedite the landing of payloads on the moon, NASA conducted a call for internal payloads. The NASA Provided Lunar Payloads Program. This was a one-time only activity designed to identify within the agency payloads that were ready or very nearly ready to fly at an advanced TRL stage. It's an interesting mix of payloads encompassing science, exploration, and technology objectives. As you can see here, so this is the list. I simply cribbed this from the headquarters slides. Those with blue arrows will be presenting here today. So we look forward to hearing about these instruments, and those who couldn't make it today, we look forward to the success of those instruments as we proceed forward with the program. Okay, more recently we had the Lunar Science Technology Investigations Program selections, or LSTPIP is what we call it inside. And so they're an exciting suite of payloads. So the ones again here in blue are the ones that we'll be presenting today. So again, we have a comprehensive selection of payloads across multiple science disciplines, particularly planetary science, but are also relevant to heliophysics and other investigations in terms of technology. So the full list can be seen here at the link, and then again, ones in blue will be presenting here today. Okay, we more recently had a Simplex 2 mission selected for, a Simplex mission selected as part of the Simplex 2 call, Lunar Trailblazer. It's a very exciting mission, and Bethany Ellman will be telling us all about it later today. So I'm looking forward to that talk. This is very exciting. It's easy to forget, especially with all the attention being devoted to the Artemis 3 mission, that we have an Artemis 1 mission, which contains a lot of very interesting secondary payloads, including Lunar Flashlight, a Near-Earth Asteroid Scout mission, a Luna HMAP from Arizona State University, LunIR from Lockheed Martin, CubeSats, several payloads from JAXA, including Omotenashi, which is a very interesting hard-landed impactor probe. So that's a very interesting set of technology. And other secondary payloads. So these are all very, very exciting payloads to see these get to the moon, and we'll hear from two of them later today. And finally, we had the National Academy recommended that NASA initiate some concept studies for mission concepts that would be appropriate for new frontiers or even flagship mission opportunities in the future. And we were fortunate enough with the 11 selections to get three mostly lunar-focused ones selected. One of them, of course, is the Lunar Geophysical Network with Clive Neal, the principal investigator. And the goal of that one is, of course, to understand the early and initial terrestrial planet evolution through understanding the lunar interior. And then there's another mission with Barbara Cohen as the PI. That was for the in situ chronology for the next decade, and that's a medium or flagship class mission for in situ solar system chronology, or possibly as an add-on to a sample return mission. And then there's the Intrepid Lunar Roving Prospector with Mark Robinson of ASU as the principal investigator, and the goal of that mission is to investigate over 100 major and hundreds of minor scientific sites across a suite of geologic terrains over an 1,800-kilometer traverse across the face of the moon. So these are all very exciting concept studies, and you'll hear from each of them later today. So we have we're in a very interesting time. We have an active lunar program with a broad portfolio of instruments, and I'd just like to remind people that only a few days away is a stunning world full of wonder and opportunity that's waiting for us, and we're going to hear today how we're going to explore it. So with that, I will turn things over to Dr. Bussey if he is available and online.